Hello everyone. Today I'm going to go over the Heart of Fyendal and Black Lotus comparison that I've been seeing. So the other day I was on Reddit and just scrolling through the Flesh and Blood Reddit section, and I noticed this cool meme that showed the Black Lotus next to Heart of Fyendal, and it's saying, "Hey, like, man, do I feel old?" And I thought it was good for a slight chuckle, like, but after I made my slight chuckle, I began to think about it and think if they really are comparable, And this is I'm just gonna say it, and no one else is thinking this now. I don't think I don't think they're comparable at all. Like Heart of Fyendal is so weak compared to the Black Lotus, and maybe you guys can explain it to me, but I just do not see how these are remotely close in power level. Now, as I will digress. So first of all, I will say that quantity wise and how many are available on the market, they are comparable. So Black Lotus, there's 1,100 made, which is a small number. Magic the Gathering's been out for what, over 20 years now. So yeah, the or 25 years, excuse me. Geez, so the amount of Black Lotus is still in circulation that currently exists today is probably more in the neighborhood of 500. Now, Flesh and Blood has created the Heart of Fyendal, which is a Fable card that is extraordinarily hard to find, and it's been said that the number remaining out there is 550. So, quantity wise and in flavor, does it feel like the same card? Yeah, and I can definitely see why people have that opinion. I can definitely see why people make that correlation that okay, this Fable card in the first alpha printing of Flesh and Blood is the equivalent exactly to the Black Lotus of Magic the Gathering. On that point, I see. But from an actual power level, there's no there's no way that these cards are on the same scale. I mean, like, do you guys know what Black Lotus does? Like, Black Lotus pays 0 mana, instantly play it, and you get 3 mana in the beginning of the game. So I mean, it just opens up so many opportunities. I mean, with the Black Lotus, you can have one turn kill, like the first turn kills. You can have first turn, play 3/1/1 minions. You can, first turn you can play a ridiculous amount of ramp in the beginning. And what people need to understand is that Magic the Gathering is all about early game. Like if you take control early game, you can really push it, like, and you can win games pretty fast that way just by having an early game. So like I said, you could win on turn one. You can build those decks where you do Protein Hulk or what have you. Find those insane combo decks where you can win instantly. And if you can't win instantly, I mean, in the vintage format, just having Black Lotus, then you can play, the Mox cards that'll give you more mana regeneration. So on turn two, you have, 6 mana or something ridiculous. So the power level of Black Lotus is insane. That is why people want the card. That is why people want to play with the card because of its power. So now that I've kind of explained to you why like Black Lotus is pretty OG and pretty, important, that's why people like it. Let's talk about Heart of Fyendal. So it has a 3 pitch cost, which is the highest in the game because it's 3, 2, or 1. Great. But the effect is when you pitch Heart of Fyendal, if you have less health than your opponent, you gain 1 health. Like, dude, you just gain you just gain 1 health. That doesn't really help you at all. I mean, it's essentially 2.5%. If you're playing with a 40 health hero, that's 2.5% of your max health that you gain. And it has the it has the caveat of you must already be losing the game. So if you pull that card and you're winning the game, you have more health than your opponent, then you don't get that effect. Then essentially you're pitching 3, and any other card that has pitch 3 in your deck is equivalent to Heart of Fyendal. That's not very good at all. I mean, the only way I see this card as being useful is when I can definitely see there be pro players, and what they're going to do is they're going to take this card and put it in some sort of deck that has a mill strategy where you're trying to exhaust your opponent and play ultra long, like get into the very late game, because when you pitch Heart of Fyendal, it goes back into your deck. So you can constantly, if your opponent's exhausted and you're exhausted, you pitch it, you gain a health. Next turn, you pitch it, gain a health. So every turn you can gain one health. But even still, it's just I don't think it's worth it. And I'm just gonna, and you guys can thumb down. You can believe what you want. You can pay $500 for this little piece of cardboard that is gives you a slight advantage over your opponent. But I just don't think it's worth it. And another point is, uh, guys, Magic the Gathering is 25 years old. 25. That's why, and not only that, it's the biggest trading card game ever created. So there's a reason why those cards are worth value. But the Heart of Fyendal, it's like this is a very new trading card game, and this is just the alpha print of it. There's also unlimited edition where they're going to be printing even more of these. So what is going to be the print on that run on that? So this is 550. Is that going to be maybe 50,000 of these? Probably not. It's probably going to be more in the neighborhood of maybe 10,000. And of course, those are going to have like, oh, a different color on the border. But dude, guys, it's going to be the same card. And if these are selling for 500, how much do you think those are going to be selling for? Probably in the range of like 80, you know, $70. And when that hits, only the hardcore collectors are going to want to go with the alpha print one. Other people are just, yeah, I'll just take, one of these unlimited printing. It's no big deal. It has the same thing. And oh, maybe I like the silver border more. Uh, I don't know. To wrap up, to summarize, if you really, really love this art, go for it. If you really, really like collecting every card, set collector, go for it. Will it rise in price? I don't know. Will it drop in price? I don't know. But just know this is that Black Lotus and Heart of Fyendal, they are not 100% equivalent. There is a power difference. There's a huge power difference. And it just doesn't live up to the old mofo, guys. It just doesn't live up. Now, I will say that if it the equivalent, in my opinion, would be if you had this card where it says pitch for 6 or pitch for 5. I'll say that. If it says pitch for 5 resource, flat, like you pitch it and you get 5 resource, then it would be much more equivalent to Black Lotus. Can you imagine? Because then you could pitch it for 5, and then if you're a ninja class, you could play like all the other cards you have and just do a buttload of damage because your opponent can barely defend with what he has. So I will say that if a card like that does come out, then I could see that as being some sort of Black Lotus thing. But yeah, current state just doesn't do it for me. All right. Thanks for watching. Peace.